hi, the internet on YouTube and Twitch and whatever future thing consumes all of it and takes over in 10 or 20 years or something.
Hello,
Um,
Skynet.
Sup, nerds?
Working on it.
I love how I waved as if we have video going.
Hey,
Or you could hear me waving.
you're waving in your heart. That's important, you know? Yeah, I don't think we're quite at the sitting around on a bench and video casting ourselves playing. Although if we did that, I guess you could roll dice, you know, depending
True.
on your life goals.
Myself a set of dice.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm excited.
I've got a set of dice coming in sometime in the summer. I pledged enough to the Critical Role Kickstarter to get dice. They'll be here one day.
We might actually get to use them in person at some point once everyone's all vaccinated and capable of traveling on, I guess, likely a weekday at this point.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Who knows? We've got a vaccination appointment on Thursday.
Yeah.
We go get the vaccine. Stab me so I can go roll some dice.
Stab me so I can hang out with my friends who've also been stabbed. It's the cool kid club.
Please come into melee range and stab me.
Do it, you coward, do it! But yeah, so the internet, as you can tell, we are kicking it in late March 2021. We're getting stabbed is cool. Hopefully in the future it will not be cool anymore, but for right now, it's kind of what we want. And I guess, speaking of stabbing, we are back here with more Dungeons & Dragons. 5th edition role-playing game.
Got a sword. I don't. I just have a big old stick.
Dungeons.
I mean, you got a stick that's got a pointy thing on it, too.
Oh, I've got the halberd. That's true.
Yeah. Yep, we're playing Fate Dreams In, a Type Moon-inspired 5th edition D&D homebrew game. At the moment, our heroes, Anise and Penelope, are sort of adventure questing their way through the forest outside of the Einsborn Castle in Germany to help the last Einsborn homunculi, as far as anyone's aware, recover the castle from a giant tree vampire that's taken over after it was attacked by some evil druid guy that no one really knows anything about yet. Also, there is Kwaku, the nice spider yokai descendant who they met on the train on the way over here through a bunch of events that I'm no longer going to recap all of at the beginning of every episode because we're up to like 7 or 8 or something. So go watch the old ones if you want the details. If you're looking at this in video form, which I imagine anyone who would be, just keep an eye on the little box on the top left corner. It'll tell you what everyone's current goals are and what's going on there so that I don't have to recap you forever. But yeah, so to recap the last session, though, you have met with Echoviel, and she has more or less caught you up on what happened to get to this position. You've come up with a plan to defeat this big monster tree that involves going to the ley line surrounding the castle and redirecting the mana flow away from the castle to starve it out. There's 3 locations that you've identified as viable places to cut it off at, and it's kind of understood that you're going to need to redirect at least 2 of them to have a noticeable impact on hastening this thing suffocating. So you went to the first one, which was near the rider statue, which allows communication with all of the phantasmal beast and animals in the area, which is a pretty neat perk. So you managed to redirect the mana from that region towards the saber statue, which kind of cuts off the mana flow and essentially the magic or the magecraft flow through the area. When you did that, the trees started to recover some of their actual color in the area. They no longer seem as drained, which is nice to add a little bit more color back to the world, so that's cool. You also got a chance with the statue to put out an all call for the local creatures, asking them for assistance against this big tree problem, because if the tree manages to drain the whole area dry, then this is kind of one of the only habitats left for phantasmal species in the wild. So realistically, they'll probably starve from too light of a mana environment without it. So You heard a whole bunch of noise when you did that. You heard at least one like more coherent voice in there saying that they would provide the assistance they could, but you don't really know who that is. But that's always neat. And following that, you also noticed that in the woods nearby, there were creatures that were having a pretty hard time blending in with the plants when the plants were all depleted of energy and kind of transparent. But now that you've started restoring the color, they're harder to see. You're not sure if they're aggressive or not, but they're definitely creatures, not just plants. Like they're alive and capable of movement. So that's creepy to know you're being watched by plants.
And I believe their thoughts were something like, sunlight, what? Sunlight, what?
Yeah, their attention span was pretty much focusing on I need to survive. Like you could tell before you redirected the ley line that they were largely relying on like sunlight and what mana they could get. And then when you were talking to everything, you got their attention, but they were still focusing on survival. So you're probably not going to get too much help out of them right now. You're still working at the mercy of the intelligence of the creatures that you reach out to. Not all of them can understand the concept of we need to go fight this tree or you'll die. But hopefully you'll get at least some assistance. So I believe that sums up where we were at last time. Am I forgetting anything noteworthy?
Nope, I don't think so.
Cool. Well, in that case, the two remaining the two remaining locations that were pinpointed as sort of key feeding into the castle ley lines. One of them goes near the front of the castle, and Echoviel told you it has the Berserker statue, which causes madness to anyone who gets too close to it, who isn't properly protected. And based on your experiences before with the original statues outside the bubble, it seems like if you are wearing the Einstein outfits, you're fine. You didn't have to make saves on those. And when Kwaku first got here, you could sense that it was trying to mess with him, but he powered through. He's got a very strong will, so good for him.
And we can't let Raps get anywhere near the Berserker statue.
Oh no.
Maybe? Who knows what it'll do? Golems are fun like that. But yeah, so the Berserker statue is located near one of the Leyline intersections with the castle. The third and final one is actually on the other side of the castle from where everything that you've seen is. And Echo told you that that side is haunted. Like, not a statue is keeping the ghosts of homunculi nearby to defend things haunted, but like straight up, something went down there a long time ago in history. It's not a good place. Those are ghost haunted. So you sort of decided at the time, maybe we'll leave that one alone and just take care of the front one and then see what we can do about the tree. But it is technically there if you wish to wander in. My understanding is that since you just took care of one of them and you didn't have to fight anything, you're still as rested up as you're going to be. You're going to move on to the Berserker one. So you got to go through the woods.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep. So, given that, let's pull up that party sheet. I'm going to give you an actual party marching order. Let's see if you can see these. I don't know when I last updated this thing. All right, so I'm just going to drop you on there so that we can get an idea of where everybody's at. This way we don't actually have to like make a big tree map and wander you through it. It's more just relative. Let's get some of your NPCs up in here too. Let's see, so there's the 4 of you. Then we got Raps. Get out here, Raps, you alphabetical friend. Brr. And you got a bird. You have a little bird. It's just hanging out.
I don't see a
Yeah.
map.
I don't have.
Oh,
the
it's not on a
yet.
map. It's on the party sheet. You can get to it through the top right button.
I'm just like, what map are we looking at? I don't
Yeah,
see
so the way the party sheet works is you can pick the rough orientation of the group, and then when you actually are on a map, I can just drop you all in that cluster.
Okay.
That way I don't have to keep making maps and dragging your tokens over one at a time.
Makes sense.
It's mostly a time saver. It also means that you can then decide I'm in the front, I'm in the back, whatever, when you don't actually see what the world is going to look like later. Like, this is just the default. So I believe you can each click and drag yourselves around on that if you want to pick an order. I don't know that Anise really wants to walk first.
Nope. I'm
Yeah.
Oh, it's doing that thing again.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yee.
Who do we want first, though? Like, Raps?
That's probably the best idea.
Because we can't put a Echoviel up front. And neither of us should be up front. Are you having fun?
If you stop moving it, I'll make it do something funny.
Good.
Zoom. The sugar is kicked in.
Just how much sugar have you had today?
None.
That's terrifying.
It's true, you just had breakfast. You haven't eaten anything else.
You're terrifying. I'm just standing over you, looming like you're very scary.
I don't know why you're saying that.
So you want to have Raps take up the lead?
Yeah.
Brr.
Uh,
Right.
Yeah.
Caca.
Caw-caw.
The price dropped on the Hades physical copy, and I just bought one.
Good.
Physical Hades.
Yeah.
If I learned anything from not being able to get the Stardew Valley physical release, it's that if I don't buy it now, I'm never going to find it ever again.
That does tend to happen.
What is
Yeah, one of the things that's going to bug me is when the FF7 Intergrade release comes out. Because, like, I'm not going to buy it again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have the free PS5 upgrade and then buy the Yuffie thing digitally. But inevitably, they're going to have some version of it that comes with some nerd swag that I'm going to want.
Yeah. Like a Game of the Year edition or something. I don't know.
Like, it'll probably be like, and this has a tiny Yuffie statue. And I'll be like, you bastards. She's not even my favorite character, but she looks really good in this, and I hate you for it.
I really wanted the Cloud with the motorcycle that they put out for the last year when it came out, but yeah, it was expensive.
The thing is, you can actually just buy that separate.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, not that it's not expensive, but it wasn't even exclusive. It was just, when we're going to bundle it with this thing we already have.
Yeah, I definitely want Yuffie, but they're gonna own my fucking wallet when Vincent is in the game and they put out the inevitable, really cool looking Vincent statue.
There's no way they won't. Like, Vincent is super popular.
He's gripped my bank account and is throwing money at Square Enix. I understand.
Vincent is the most popular optional character in video game history, I would probably argue.
Probably, yeah.
For someone who never even got a cutscene in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a really, really bad spin-off game. He's remarkably
Don't
popular.
talk about Church of Cerberus in this household.
Hey, it's canon again. There's elements of that in this game.
The only good thing was the soundtrack. I can't wait for them to get gacked back again. You want to do more music?
That's going to be a fight. Okay, so are we cool with this party orientation, I guess?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, the bird is sitting on Raps' head.
That's cute.
It's perfectly happy to just plop up there. Cool. Ah, he disappeared. Why did you leave, bird? And Raps?
Oh no.
Oh, I know why. It's because I closed the window that I pulled their tokens out of. That's dumb. Yeah, those two were not created as actual characters, whereas the rest of you are. So that's on me.
What, you didn't make a stat sheet for the bird?
Oh, I did. It's just the bird is an NPC. Like, I made player characters for these other ones because their stats are more complicated. Both of them are a custom race, so I did it that way. Like, homunculus is an actual race that I adapted out of an existing one, so... Alright, Raps, get back out here. Alright, Bird, get back out here.
Ah!
The bird is entirely here to remind you that it has 1 HP. Being a bird is not easy. Much smaller bird. There you go. All right, I'm just gonna...
We have to keep this bird alive until we learn true polymorph.
There you go. I mean, birds are cool like that, right? Okay, so yeah, you're walking through the woods. Just to describe the environment a little bit more. Similar to before, like, you know, it's not really snowing in here anymore, but some of the color is actually already returning to the area around you. It's obviously not where it should be. Like, it's not like bright evergreen or anything, but it's less muted than it was before. The area is still a little bit red tinged, but not as much. And you're also starting to feel a little bit of a breeze. If you remember when you first got here, as soon as you like knocked out the blizzard going on right outside, and then you crossed over the saber barrier, like it got suspiciously calm. Like the world just wasn't active. It was almost like you were looking at a photo. Like now there's a little breeze, the trees are moving a little bit. You've definitely fixed something. So that's nice. You've also noticed that every once in a while you notice the plants moving. Like not like something's jumping out to get you or anything, but like maybe there's some wildlife actually active now. So that's nice. Other than that, you can actually see to your right as you're traveling, there's some water. It's largely frozen, but there are bits of water there here and there too that aren't frozen yet. You can see just looking down it that it's feeding into a lake, and you can see up to the left of the lake is the castle. So you're getting closer to it, which you expected. Like just from when you took a look at the region from up at Echo's cabin, you can tell that you're getting much, much closer now. In fact, while you're walking, we're going to try doing something a little bit different from before, because I think that this is probably more representative of the actual experience. You can do perception rolls, but toss them into the little tower in the bottom right.
Perception. The tower. Oh, so it hides it from...
Oh, in the bottom right.
Yeah.
That way it's not like an, oh, I got a 20, I don't see anything, we're fine. Like, it's more just, you get a sense.
Oops.
Cool.
I didn't realize clicking and dragging on the thing would... It's hard to read.
Oh, yeah, that's my fault. It's still putting your names in black, even though it's making everything else gray. That's weird.
I still don't actually see what I rolled, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not supposed to, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
I can see what you rolled, which is the important part.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you're moving along, you specifically Penelope can pick up on this a little bit easier. You see more and more of those tree things that you saw near the rider statue.
Ooh.
Like you don't see them when they're sitting still, but they are occasionally moving. And when they do, you can kind of make out their outline. And then when you try to stare at them, they kind of disappear again. Like they're not turning invisible. It's just they are very indistinguishable from the trees now that the trees are starting to get their color back. So you can see them when they're moving, but when they're still, they're practically gone.
Anytime I see one, I'm just going to start pointing in the direction that I see it. Did you see it?
One of the
There's
sun
another one.
monsters.
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to be able to see them. That's quite perceptive.
It's not like I can really see them, but like I can see them move. It's
Ah.
weird. I don't like like it. It's creepy.
Well, I think as long as we don't get close to them, they won't attack. Should be fine.
Ugh.
They do seem to be territorial, so... so far, they've not attacked any of us, and we've just kept our distance. And so, as you're wandering along that way, now we can actually get a map. All right, I'm gonna test the theory of if I've successfully given you the ability to actually walk around on the map by default. Let's share a map.
Ooh.
Let's add you to a map.
It looks like a dude with a beard that's like going, ah!
A dude with a beard?
It's the black part. It's like a bit
Oh, I see it from that direction. Yeah, it looks like you're walking into like Ryder's mouth or something.
Oh.
I hadn't really thought of that, but now that you've said it, I see it.
And he's just very surprised that we're walking into his mouth.
How dare you?
Oh no.
There you go. See, now I can just drag you from the map onto the party sheet, and then the party sheet onto the next map, and...
Oh, and I can move freely.
And you can move. So, hooray.
The arrow keys don't move my token, but I mean, that's probably... I think I prefer that. I can just click and drag.
Well, I can apparently move the bird.
Put him back on wraps where he belongs.
Did you click on the bird?
I clicked on the bird by accident and dragged him.
So there's a distortion effect.
Yes, you can both see that it's kind of a haze effect, though. It's not like the really overt magic stuff that you've encountered before, though, as you recall.
Gotcha.
When you touch the statues, whatever was going on was always way more obvious. Let's see. Zoom that in a bit. There we go. Yeah, like when you encountered the previous ones, you noticed that you couldn't really tell what was going on until you were right up on it. Here you can sense a little bit, but it could be related, but it doesn't seem to be very strong. All right, and since you are here now, are we cool with about where we're standing so that I can know if I need to reveal more? I think where we are right now, I should reveal more that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me do that. Let's reveal areas. No, that's unreveal. Do better. There we go. Where you're at right now, you can see a bit more of this place. That looks roughly in line with what you should be able to see. So yeah, to your right, you can see the edge of the lake. You can see the path is forking ahead to the left and to the right. There's also yet another of those like 10 to 15-ish foot cliff things immediately to your left that goes to an elevated area. You can't really see up on there at your height, but it's definitely something that you wouldn't have too much trouble climbing if you felt the need. There's a bunch of trees coming up. Both of the paths ahead do go between trees. The one on the right goes through trees that are a little bit closer together right now. The one on the left seems a little more open from at least the angle you're at. And then, of course, there's just the water on the top right, which is mostly frozen. It's up to you if you want to try walking on it, but it is frozen water.
I will move a little forward to about right. See what I see.
Okay. So from there, you've got a little bit more of an angle to see, so that's good. Reveal that map. I'm going to probably give you a little bit more than you should be able to see, but that's not really going to matter much. Important thing is that you can actually see from there a little bit more up that thing in front of you, and a little bit more into this path, and just a little bit more through the trees. So neat.
I guess I'll call back to the group. Think the Berserker statue is on that cliff. Think I see a statue up there.
I guess we should just go up the cliff.
I think, let me check spider climb, because I think I cast that.
I think you did.
And I don't know
What the duration is?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Where's my... There's my sheet.
Let's see. Spider climb lasts for up to an hour.
Has it been that long
No.
since we were at the rider statue?
No, the rider statue ritual took you a little while. Like, it hasn't been long enough that your spider climb would run out. You're actually making pretty decent time through here. It helps that you actually have someone who lives here as a guide. You're going a lot faster than you did for the first leg of it. Like, Echo's kind of just taking you directly to places.
All right. I guess I will, with my spider climb, I will move up the cliff.
Okay. Now, as you're climbing up there, you can do a perception roll, but this one you can do in the open.
Oh, so don't put it in the castle.
Yeah, you can just do these ones normally. Like if you're not on a map, I want to do them in the tower things, just because it makes more sense that way. Oh, well.
Hey!
Nice.
Ooh.
You can
What
see
do my
the
elven
code.
eyes see?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, you've got a good angle now, so you can see a lot of stuff. So, first of all, from this slightly elevated position, you can see a bit further up over the trees, and you can see that the castle is ahead. You could get there by taking the path to the right. You're kind of like due ahead of it. The water, like the lake, goes to the right of the castle and presumably on its north side. Whereas the path to the left, you can see from going here, goes towards a part of the woods that's a little bit more dead looking. Like, most of the stuff you've seen has looked kind of empty or drained, but that area actually looks dead. Like, you're like, that's probably haunted. That just has
gotcha.
all of the aesthetic of being haunted to it. Not immediately, but you can see far enough down there to tell that that's the direction it's going in. But yeah, the path to the right leads actually up much closer to the castle. You can see from here that the main door of the castle is open, just as it was when you saw in the fireplace vision. You can actually see that from here because you rolled a perfect perception, so that's cool. Your half-elven eyes have seen much. You also notice from up here that there are some things nearby. So I'm going to go ahead and add those for you.
I will relay down to the rest of my party that the castle is ahead, the door's open, the woods look hella haunted.
You have some ridiculous eyesight.
Caught it at a good angle. The sun shone down just perfectly, cleared a path through the mist. It was luck, honestly. Those woods ahead look very haunted.
I don't feel like living through a Stephen King novel today, so let's not go through the woods.
I do quite enjoy it. But I agree.
We'll do that.
If the lake is suitably frozen, we could actually probably walk across it.
Ooh.
If the last thing we need is for someone to bust through the ice and drown, freeze, both.
Penelope's gonna walk over to the lake.
Okay. So as Penelope's walking over to the lake, because you rolled so well, I'm gonna show more of what Anise can see.
Hi, Chef.
Okay.
Do you want my attention now that I'm doing something? Is that what this is?
Chef.
Purring so loud. What a brat.
You need to focus on other things.
Okay, so this is stuff that Anise can see that Penelope can't yet.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh.
Shit. Oh no.
Oh, it's more of those guys. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be like, Penelope, hold on, come back.
Oh,
There's some scary-looking beings in the water on the beach.
They're right at the edge of it.
Right at the edge of the water. We should be wary of them.
I don't like that very much.
Yep, so you can see those over there. And I didn't think I was going to get to do this, but since you rolled so great, I'm going to reward it. Alright, so you can see, just checking my other screen, yep, so you can see that there's 4 of them near the water. Cool. And you can see that one near you in the plant.
Ah, there's one in the trees.
It's a different one, though. That's one of the plant ones that's supposed to be really hard to see, but you got a 22 on your perception, so have fun.
There's also a plant monster, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's over on this side of the cliff. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
Just living its plant life.
Okay, so the lake is probably a bad idea then.
Do the mud method. Do the monsters seem like they're gonna attack?
Not yet. They're mostly just sort of watching you. And then the final thing that you can see with your super high perception roll is you can see that Echoviel's pulled out her bow. And she's knocking an arrow, but as far as you can tell, she hasn't seen any of them yet. She's sort of like, it's almost like a twitchy trigger finger kind of thing. Like she's sort of pointing the bow in different directions. Like maybe she knows something's up but doesn't know where. And occasionally as she's doing this, she actually ends up pointing the bow at Kwaku and at yourself and at Penelope. Like, she's not like drawing it yet. Like she's not pulling it back, but like something is clearly throwing her off right now.
Echoviel, calm down. They're full over by the lake, and there's one over here in the trees, but they don't look like they're attacking. They just look like they're observing. Unless it's not them that you're sensing.
I don't know what's going on. It's strange. Something dangerous is here. It might be them. It might be all of you. Now that I think about it, you're all new and dangerous. I don't know what to do yet. At any rate, is that statue up there where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I guess I need to investigate or perceive the statue to make sure it doesn't look weird. And
yeah, you can investigate it.
Okay. Holy shit!
Okay.
I would be wondering about weighted dice, but this is a program.
Look, so. Trust me, the number of times that you've rolled and it's not let you break a 5, it evens out. Okay. Well, yeah. Investigating the statue, you can see that similar to the other ones before, it has words on it. This one has madness enhancement written on it, which tracks with what Echoviel told you before. But because you rolled really high, you noticed that this one actually does have some runes on it that look like they were maybe done in a really dark brown paste of some kind. You can recall that the caster one was sabotaged in a similar manner using the blood of ice mephits. Or mephits. I don't know, Muppets. Ice Muppets. Whatever they are. And this one's brown, which doesn't take a huge jump based on the fact that you can see the ones near the water are more muddy. But something is happening with it. It looks like something is throwing it off. And also, just from looking at it here, you get the sense, and your immediate proximity to it, you can feel it pushing on your emotions too. Like, you're supposed to be immune to it because you're wearing the robe, but it seems to be pushing even past the robe now. You notice that Echo's like pointing that arrow in a bunch of different directions, and that makes you a little bit nervous, like maybe she can't be trusted. But because of a combination of your being a half-elf, which means you have some resistance to this in the first place, and you're knowing exactly how the statue works and what's going on, you get a sense that it's actually just pushing your insecurities. Doesn't take a huge leap of logic to realize it's not doing what it's supposed to.
Right, well, definitely won't be able to cast the ritual with it being like this. So out comes the teapot, pour some water in, produce flame, heat it up, dunk it on the statue. Well, not dunk it, dump it.
Just pour it out. Okay, so yeah, that has the desired effect. It does wash the blood off of it. And when it does, the mephits immediately start moving forward. Like, they're not happy about that.
Oh dear.
Like, you're ruining their party or something.
Well, that
and now we can actually just roll initiative proper. But hey,
I warn everybody, like, oh, the mud monsters are advancing?
Yeah, you can call that out. In fact, also when you do this, you notice that the weird ripply thing stops. Like, whatever that haze was went away. And you don't feel that push on you anymore. And, like, you can actually see Echo seem to calm down a little bit too. And also, just because you hit like a 22 on both of those, you notice that Penelope and Kwaku were never affected by either one. They seem totally normal. Raps is unaffected. As far as you could tell, the bird's just a bird.
Yeah. The bird was going fucking bananas, but none of us knew.
Yeah, you don't really know because it's not speaking to you right now.
Man, I rolled well for initiative too.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I should pop the actual initiative button, and then I'll change yours to that because that's cool.
Oh.
So. Let's see.
I'm making some dumb Sailor Moon noises over here.
Alright, let's... Initiative rolling. Then I'm going to change your numbers. So we've got Anise on 20, which is better than the 13 it gave you. Up there, and then we have Penelope going down to 10. Alright, so let me pull up the combat tracker, make sure you can all see everything. Yep. Look at that bird rolling high initiative every time as if it was going to do something.
It's a go-getter.
Hey, it's really important that it doesn't go last, because like one hit will kill it.
That's true.
I appreciate having some NPCs around who are not combat characters, but are still in existence. Keeps the world interesting. Okay, so yeah, rocking that 20 initiative. Anise is up first.
All right. We'll move as close to the cliff edge as I can. And I will cast Entangle on which mud muppet is that? Number 2. Okay.
The closest one?
Yeah, I will cast Entangle on mud muppet number 2.
Did you just call it a mud puppet?
Yep, that's what they're called now.
That's what we name them.
I think I'm doing this right.
Yeah. You got him.
Does that mean that I succeeded or he succeeded?
Save 12 versus 12. It succeeded.
So it doesn't get entangled?
No. Does that do a secondary thing?
I'm checking. Oh, it's concentration, so I guess spider climb is gone. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the ground in the area into terrain. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so it still did a thing. That thing just passed its immediate save.
See it on a strength saving throw, be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. Yeah, so I just made it harder to climb up the cliff area for around 20 feet around where the Muppet is.
Okay.
And I'm calling them Muppets.
No, you can. That is up to you. You're the druid. You're actually the expert on what these things are. If you call them Muppets, we'll believe you.
Oh no, that's too much power.
All right, so you said it was a 20-foot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wanted to cast this in the battle against the bone snake, but everyone was fighting in that area, and I didn't want to like entangle Raps and everyone else.
Right. All right. So is it a 20-foot radius or?
I believe so. Let me check on the wording. 20-foot square.
Okay, so about this big.
Yeah.
Cool. Take that.
Maybe a little closer to the cliff. Like the plants are growing out of the cliff and a little bit on the ground where the Muppet is.
More like that, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe I just didn't aim it properly, and that's why it didn't get entangled, because it's on the very edge.
Hey, you just made its life a lot harder.
True.
Like, even if it's not entangled, it still has to go through it. Oddly enough, it didn't drop that on your sheet as being concentrated. It still has the spider climb on there. It doesn't matter. Like, if anything hits you and you fail it, we'll know which one turned off.
True.
But normally it's pretty good about tracking concentration. Okay, so we got that.
Concentration up to 1 minute.
Neat. And it's now the bird's turn.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to end my turn. My bad.
No, you're fine. It is the bird's turn. The bird has definitely learned the dangers of being around things. And so it's going to fly back up here with you, where it is allegedly safer.
Hang out on the statue, bird friend. Or maybe don't.
Nope, it's
Statue
doing
might-
it now. You told it to.
The statue might make you berserk. Oh no.
This is how Untitled Goose Game happens. You did it.
No.
Because, yeah, the bird understands you. It just can't talk back. All right, that is the bird's turn. Good job, bird.
Don't go berserk.
Berserker. All right. Let's see what this one's gonna do. It's gonna move a little bit.
I guess the implication then is that these Muppets are the ones that are doing things to the statues.
Maybe.
I thought for sure it was like the scary guy killed them and used their blood, but
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. And rolly thing.
What?
It got you.
What?
Okay,
Oh, God.
so that one roll down here. Actually, it's closer than that. It got to here, and so that method it sort of crawls its way across at you. You can see it a lot closer now because it's obviously getting closer to you. It's made out of mud, or it's like more mud looking. In fact, I'll give you a picture of one, just because. Why not? So, share that picture. That thing.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's made out of mud. It sort of squicks and scrolls around like it's almost a liquid in some ways. But it splopped its way over at you. And then as it gets closer to you, when it's about 5 feet away, so I guess we're technically not really sticking to the grid as well as we probably should, but it doesn't matter. As it gets closer to you, it just sort of looms forward, all of a sudden goes blah, and a bunch of mud flies out of its mouth onto you. And once yeah, it's gross.
It says I rolled a 23, apparently.
Yeah, it didn't affect you, but I'm telling you what it did.
Okay.
Yeah, it spit a bunch of mud at you. And you got the sense when the mud hit you that it's starting to harden on you, but you managed to shake it off way too fast before it could actually impact you any. Like, thankfully, all of those years of bardic training taught you how to shimmy well, and you just shimmied it right off, and then it solidified when it hit the ground.
Ooh.
Such is your bardic dance power.
Oh boy.
But you did get the sense that if it had stuck on you for too long, it would have probably hardened and made your life less convenient.
Ugh.
Okay, so that was that one. Mrrr. Rap's gonna raps, yo. What do Raps? Raps doesn't like that thing just spit at you.
It's okay, Raps. I don't like that it did that either.
Let's see here. There it is. Rawr. Yeah, that would definitely hit. Raps is not messing around. Raps is very unhappy with this thing. Squish. So when Raps hits it, it actually leaves a big fist-shaped indentation directly in its face. It just collapses in on it, and its eyes sort of bulge out like it was almost punching a claymation creature. And it doesn't immediately reshape as soon as that punch is over. Unfortunately for it, Raps is a hit you twice kind of guy. And
he twice.
Splat. He hits it twice, and now it is somehow still whatever passes for alive, but it is not in a good place. Every time Raps punches it, more and more of it just splats off to the area around it, then hardens when it hits the ground. But it's not dead. It's just really hurt. Okay. Now, this one's gonna run over.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it okay if I move you onto one of the squares around you just so that the
Yeah,
math
sure.
makes sense? Which one do you want to be on?
I'm beside Rat.
That's fair.
That one.
There you go. Yeah, I'm just going to shuffle everyone onto one so that the grid math is less stupid. So this guy too. Hey you, get in line. All right.
Yeah.
This one's going to run right up to you, and it's going to try to do the same thing.
Oh.
Apparently they are all critics of your music or something.
You know.
They have no taste.
Exactly.
I mean, they're mud. They probably don't even have ears.
They look exactly. Oh no.
Okay. So when this one comes up at you, it flows up really, really fast along the ground, like way faster than you expected. And when it did, it just sort of leapt up and splotched at you. And this one did get on you, and you were completely surprised by the second one after having just dodged the first one's nonsense, that it does cover you in the mud, and it very rapidly hardens on you.
Wait, I can re-roll that.
You can.
That's true.
That's true. Go for it.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
You should. I will make it do that.
Wow.
Haha!
Hey!
Little did it realize that didn't actually happen because it was in a different timeline where you're not a halfling. So yeah, the mud flies off of this one, and this time, having seen what happened before, you're able to sort of do like a dance move sidestep on this one. It just goes right past you and hits the wall way back there, but it does not get you. You are not stuck. Such is your halfling majesty.
Yeah, hey.
It aimed a little too high.
Thanks.
Admittedly, when you're next to Raps, it's probably actually having trouble telling how big you are.
It's just like, what the hell is this tiny child doing here?
Also, as far as I can tell from the design, they don't actually have eyes. They just have little dots where eyes would be, so maybe it can't see well. But yeah, so that one failed at getting you thanks to your halfling luck.
Hell yeah.
Being a halfling's pretty great.
Love it.
And now it's your turn.
Oh god. See. Would work. Yes.
What you gonna do to it?
I am. What? I'm gonna stab it.
That's respectable. Oh, actually, let me move the other one over just in case it matters for you, since the same reasons I just gave before. So you can actually stab either one if you want.
I'm gonna stab the one right in front of me.
Okay.
Is that 1 or 4? That's 1. Yeah. Ooh, drop it on the face.
You did hit it.
Alright, how do I roll?
Stibbity stab. You got it.
Boop.
Yep, you managed to poke a hole right through it. You saw a little bit of it squirt right out its back as if you'd stabbed it way, way harder than you should, and then you realize, oh wait, it's mud. So, checks out though. It's losing mud quickly.
Yay.
Would you like to do anything else?
Yes. I'm gonna run back here. Be like, no.
Okay, so you're gonna run away. They're gonna take a swing at you if you do that.
Fuck.
Is that okay?
Fine, I'll stay there.
It's like, I'm not gonna be like, and then you get attack of opportunity like crazy when we haven't done that many combats yet.
I keep forgetting that's the thing. Stop back on the railway! This time. Boop.
Okay. Let's see, you hit next, and now it's number 2 down there in the plants.
In addition to it being a cliff face, it's also difficult terrain.
Yeah. Let's see how well these things can climb. I don't think they're very good at it. I mean, they're just a pile of mud. Let's see your abilities. Nope, being made of mud gives it no special advantage on climbing. It has a swim speed.
Huh.
Oh, actually no, it has a fly speed for some reason.
What?
I don't know why. I'm not giving it a fly speed because I think that's silly.
Helicopter blades pop out of the back.
Yeah, it's just like, how would this thing fly? I would understand if it was one of the other ones, like the I guess it has wings. I guess those
that's
are
true.
muddy wings. So never mind, that makes sense. It does have wings. So it's gonna try to flap up, but I'm still gonna honor the bad terrain because like it's gotta, like, you're high up enough that even if it's flying, it can't make that angle without flying through the stuff. Since, you know, Pythagoras. So it's gonna try to go around instead. So it's gonna run over this way, and it's just gonna perch right here. So we're gonna use grids, because we're not savages. And that's all it can do. Well, actually, no, it can do a dash after that. So it's going to dash its way up here, but it doesn't get an attack. So that's as far as it gets. Take that, Mud Muppet. You're next, last Mud Muppet. It's going to try to attack an old lady.
There were 4 of them over there. Oh. Did one already die, or?
No. There were 3 at the top, and there was the one down near you.
Okay.
I think I'd said 4 before because I forgot that one of them spawned next to you rather than up there. So I think I just verbally did that wrong. Wait, is Echo not on the tracker? Echo, you need to also combat. Get out of here. It's because she wasn't on the combat tracker in your last fight. Let me add her. And she'll just go last, I guess. Yeah, she can get an initiative next round. This will reflect her being confused by the statue thing. Why not? But it's gonna try to spit on her, because spit and mud's what they do. They are rude like that.
Yeah.
Let's see if her amazing evasion is up there with halfling gymnastics. Roll that die. Nope. Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, so yeah, she gets covered in the mud, and in her disorientation from the weird statue effect, she gets covered in the mud, which rapidly hardens around her body and sort of locks her in place. She is now restrained. And will be so for a moment. Alright, up next, we got Kwaku, who's like, I don't know about that. I'm going to get over here.
Talking about that life.
Look, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. Kwaku, get your sheet up here. You don't get shortcuts because you're a player character. You gotta actually open your sheet. How dare you? Okay, so Kwaku's going to go into combat mode, buddy. Oh, where's all your spells in combat mode? Disappointing. I really need to update his sheet to be more combat-y versus the NPC he was originally supposed to be. That's fine. Don't worry.
We just had to drag him into these situations, didn't we?
I mean, this is like you took the shopkeeper to war.
Yeah.
But that's fine. He can cast spells. It'll be fine. All right, buddy. Let's target some things.
Like getting an NPC in your party for the tutorial, and then like never actually completing the tutorial, so you can take him around the rest of the game.
I mean, I appreciated when that happened in Sword Art Online Abridged, because it meant all the other players also didn't have the tutorial NPC anymore, which is problematic when you're in a life or death game. All right. There we go. You are here. You are set up. Let us violence. Rah! Yeah, that'll hit. That's pretty good. Okay. But how much does it hurt? That much. Yeah, 3 whole damage. You did it. So yeah, he summons an ice dagger and chucks it into the Mephit that was attacking Echo. Since it's clearly the most dangerous of the lot, since the other two can't even lock a halfling in place, but this one went after an old lady, making it clearly the MVP of the mud monsters.
The leader.
That is the Red Ranger that we need to fear.
You may be Mud Muppet number 3 according to the stats, but you're number 1 in all of our hearts.
It's wearing a little hat. The rest of them don't have little.
It is so dangerous like that. All right, so she's restrained. Let's try to not be restrained. What did it say the DC to bust out of that was? Just 10. All right. Kind of surprised it doesn't automatically roll that for you. Feels like it would. It does that for a lot of effects. All right, so on its turns, weird, it's still a dexterity saving throw to get out. I really would have thought that would be strength.
Yeah, you'd think.
D&D is weird. All right, well, it's probably the decision to not vary the saves for the same effect for simplicity, but it results in just being weird. Okay, well, that's her good stat, so she's not going to complain. Or it'll roll twice for some reason. Oh, it's because she's at disadvantage because she's restrained. That's why. That makes way more sense. But she still got out. Like, even with disadvantage, she hit her 10, so she's fine. Stop being restrained. Cut that out. All right. Delete. no longer restrained. So given that, unfortunately, it was her action to bust out. So she's just gonna stay right here and be mad at it. Yeah. New round, who dis? She's up first. All right. Well, that's funny.
Let's have the mud, and she's like, I'm ready to fucking throw down.
You come into my house.
Spit mud all over my clothes.
You got mud on my only outfit. I don't even have a shower. Yeah, she's gonna take a shot at the one over elsewhere, since using your bow against things that are right next to you is a bad idea. And in doing so, actions. Which one is that one? That's 4. 4 is the one that's weakened. Where are you, Method 4? Alright, she has him targeted. And she's gonna shoot an arrow at it. Get him! Blam, that's a hit. Get him! Blam, it's dying. Alright, so she shoots it. The arrow goes right through its head. Let's see what happens. Alright, so it has taken sufficiently too much damage. So now it's got to do some stuff. So and on that one, and on Mod Method 1, how could you do this? Alright, so the arrow flies through, goes clearly through this thing's face, and kind of like in a video game when you defeat the monster and it just bursts into like a bubble of, you know, defeat. That's what this one does, only that bubble of defeat goes flying around everyone in its proximity. Now, Penelope is a god, so Penelope's fine. Penelope absolutely nat 20 that like it was nothing. Just flip through it. Like, enough of that. You've actually just had a breakdancing turn. You're just dodging things. You're weaving between mud left and right. The mud likewise flew over at Raps, who unexpectedly, for Raps' size, you actually saw Raps do the Matrix thing, where he leans back and it went right over him, and then leans right back up. A thing that he probably couldn't do if he actually had a skeleton. And then even the method to its right, the mud goes flying right over it too, like it knew this was going to happen someday, that, you know, Jerry was always made to explode, and it finally happened. And with that, Mud Muppet 4 is dead. Cool. And who is next? Kwaku's next. Kwaku's going to try once again to do the ice dagger dance. Kwaku's good for a hit once in a while. Get him! That's a hit. And get him! That's some ice. Okay, so yeah, Kwaku's just continually chucking these ice daggers at the one that's right in front of Echo. He seems to be having an easier time hitting these things than giant skeleton snakes for some reason.
These are made of mud, and the skeleton was tough, hard substance.
Yeah, it's quite possible that the ones hitting the skeleton snake just were going through the gaps between its bones.
That too.
But yeah, the mud is just absolutely getting ice chunks stuck in it. And every time an ice dagger hits it, it just stays there. Like, slowly looking like a weird Alolan porcupine or something. Take that. Alright. Okay, Mud Mephit 1 has regained its use of its Mud Breath.
Oh.
Well, it do what it do.
Oh.
It's like, at this point, I think it's the goal of every Muppet to cover specifically Penelope in mud.
If it happens, she's not going to be happy.
Which is understandable. But it's not happening. Things are not going the way that Mud Muppet 1 thought they were going to go. At all. It's going to be a stupid thing and try to back away, allowing you and Raps to take a swing at it if you so desire.
Hell yeah, what do I do?
Just target and attack it again with your knife. You've probably already got it set up from before. That's a hit.
Gonna hit it.
That's a stabby.
Doink!
Alright, and now Raps is going to hit it.
Oh, right.
Let's see what happens when Raps hits it. Raps, where's your attack buttons? You're such a complicated character, Raps. You're so deep and full of thought.
Raps?
Why do you roll twice? Why do you have advantage against anything? Or you have disadvantage. I don't know what it's doing. Attack. Advantage. It doesn't matter. Hit with both. I don't know why it has advantage punching slime. I need to figure that out later because it's funny. But for now, violence. Blam, he made it pay for running away. Because it's dead. Wait, he's targeting 4. That's why it... Oh, that makes so much more sense. I forgot to retarget him to the other one. Of course he has advantage. He's hitting a dead thing. I mean, thankfully the rolls are the same. I just have to apply this to the other one. That makes way more sense. So, let's... I'm like, why are you so good at punching this? It's like, because it's already dead. Raps is just that violent. Alright, let's just drag that number.
It would make it significantly easier to hit.
Yeah. Let's see, the one that's running away is 1. Bah. There you go. Take that. And the one that Penelope hit was also Mephit 1. Good. So that part at least is still keeping up. Although, is your damage on it? I don't see that. I'm going to drag that over too. There we go. Weird. Anyway, so yeah, that one's not looking great now. Mud Mephit 1 is having a terrible day. It did what it came to do poorly, and now it's trying to escape. This one, on the other hand, is going before you, and it's rolling in to attack. So it runs at you. But first, because it's funny, the bird is going to peck at it while it runs by.
Bert does like 20.
Goes berserk. Got a knife from
Using its
somewhere.
madness enhancement, the bird actually reveals itself to be a great, insane hero of legend. I don't know what a berserker bird would look like, but I'm sure there's one in some mythology.
A tengu or something like that.
I just pictured like a little crow, but with Heracles' face.
That's pretty cute.
And it'd be like, ah!
It turns out it's actually Quetzalcoatl, the lightning
Jesus.
bird deity of South America, here to destroy everything, and not a lucha dancer this time.
Hooray.
Fate's weird.
Yeah.
Get him, bird! You lived up to our expectations, bird. It tried, okay? It pecked, it missed. It's not really a fighter. It's a bird. Alright, so now the mud mephit's gonna try to spit its mud on you. Mud mephit. And bleh.
That, yeah,
What?
that hits.
No, that's
Or-
your
no,
save.
wait.
You
That was my save.
you avoided it totally.
You're just like, I control HUD.
I appreciate that both of you have not rolled under like a 10 against these things. Which is good, because you know what? They're jerks. They deserve to have this happen to them. Alright, well that was its exciting run up and bleh turn. It's your turn. Anise is up.
I guess I'm gonna stab it.
As is your right. That'll
Did it
hit.
hit? Cool. I forget what I do for damage.
There's the little box thing you had to throw it in.
Got okay.
Oh.
Blam.
So I stabbed it.
So that was with the halberd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so similar to like when you're playing with Play-Doh and you are separating two chunks of Play-Doh, you just sort of brought that down on the thing and like half of it just fell off. Like it's still alive, but like clearly it's missing some pieces. You were maybe expecting a little bit more resistance than you got.
Don't think I have anything I can do as a bonus. So I don't. There's not really very far I can move, and if I move, it'll get an attack of opportunity.
Right.
I mean, can I like maybe if facing it with the halberd out, can I like move to here to be beside the statue, so I'm not right at the edge of the cliff?
I think you can do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure in 5e it's when you leave its radius, not when you move around inside of it. Otherwise, just even approaching things would get you hit if they have reach. If that's
So I
wrong,
stabbed
then I'll
it.
remember it for the future, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Stabbed it, and then I moved away from the cliff face, and I guess I'll end my. About all I can do.
Okay. Raps is up. Mrrr. I wonder what Raps is going to do. What's that, Raps? Things to hit. What's that thing you do? Alright, let's give Raps a target. Go after Mephit 1 because it was the rudest. And Mrrr. I said mrrr. That's a mrrr. And blam.
Oh,
All right. So it's going to splat. But just on Raps, it's not too far away. Mud Meth at 1. Alright, so it's no longer targeting Penelope because it's dead.
Hooray!
Raps is not bothered by this. Blah. Raps just sort of does that no-cell turn and back like, what is this? What do you think you're doing? You're dead now. Raps is now going to continue the movement. And continue the violence.
Hooray, violence.
Raps is here to do damage because that's all Raps knows how to do.
But he does his best.
I guess he knows how to dress himself.
He does have a charming...
We assume he knows how to dress himself. It's quite possible that Kwaku just treats him like a giant Barbie doll. We don't know that. All things are possible. Aw, but this one he missed. Brr.
Brr. Sad Raps.
Well, he got to kill this turn. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Okay. Do. The bird's turn. Get him, bird. Caw-caw. Oh, I really wanted to crit. It did hit, though.
Wow.
Peck. Got some damage in.
Roll one damage.
So
was that enough to kill?
the fun thing is that the bird can only do 1 damage. It's not a roll.
Oh.
Peck just does 1 damage. I really wanted to crit so I could double the 1 damage. Because, like, there's no die roll, so critting doesn't even do anything. Critting just doubles the dice. Yep, it got a peck in. It knows better than to leave its range. It's just going to quiver up here, cawing at it. All right, Penelope time.
Penelope's gonna go stab him. Don't go at him, Raps. She's in the same spot as Raps.
She can do that.
She's gonna, like, just appear around his leg and then just, like, try and stab at the other mud thing.
That's fair. You can do that. You're tiny.
Which one is that one? Is that one 3?
That one
Yeah,
is
that's
3, yeah.
Oh,
The other 2 are dead, and 2 is the one that's...
damn it.
Unfortunately, it's hard to stab things between Raps' legs after all. It's just too slimy.
That would have been so cool. But can't be cool all the time.
Hey, you've been dodging mud explosions left and right. That's still cool looking. This would be in your anime music video. You'd be doing this to Linkin Park or something.
Oh, jeez.
Or Evanescence.
Ooh. If you're dodging things to Evanescence, you're probably getting hit.
White
That's
man.
fair.
All right, so mud method number 4.
Oh, you're dead.
It's very dead. And it didn't recharge its mud breath. Also funny. I like that it still rolls the recharge just in case they get up, I guess. Mud method 3 did not recharge its mud breath. But it is going to actually just try to actually hit someone because this mud breath game is not working out.
I'm in the wrong spot.
Do you get partial cover when you're in a spot with a big person?
Let me find out.
Perhaps his thighs are big enough, you could just hide.
I think I can actually hide.
I think that's a thing you can do. I just don't remember if it's all small races or just some of them.
So you can attempt to hide even when you're obscured only by a creature that is at least one size
Okay,
larger
you'd have to
than
do the hide action then, is what that lets you do.
Oh.
But it is fun that you could just spend your action on the next turn being like, and then I'm not here anymore. And they're like, where'd you go? And you didn't actually move.
No, we don't know.
Okay, well, it's gonna try to attack Raps, actually. A much bigger target that it just saw kill 2 of its friends. Actually, one of them. It saw the lady kill the other one, so it's still most afraid of Raps. It's going to try to attack Raps. So, target Raps. Let's just attack. Let's go. Oh, that's a hit. Okay, so it's got tiny little mud fists, right? And its tiny little mud fists are like, punch. And it's like punching it at the shins. It goes near you. And when it does very little damage. No damage at all because it was resisted, because it rolled a 1. It turns out it's actually really hard to punch silk, which is true. So like it punches into Raps, and Raps' knee just pops right back out. And it's confused by this, like, what? That's just not fair. It thinks to itself. And then it tries to flee. And now you get another shot, Penelope, if you want to stibbity stabbity.
Oh god. Okay. Hold on. I have too many windows.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, the violence. Yep, that is a critical hit.
Didn't even register that. Okay, no. Shit.
It's definitely showing it as a critical.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's a max damage critical. Okay, so I have to add the extra damage for that, apparently, but that's fine.
You double the dice on a critical.
Yeah, roll another d6.
Roll another d6?
Yeah, because you
Wouldn't it
criticaled it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't it be 16? Or is it rolling 2 separate
You roll the
d6?
dice. You'd roll twice as many dice.
Okay.
Oh.
That's my understanding of it, at least.
In any case, she just did like 13 damage, so...
Alright, so it did... So 8 plus the other 3, so that's 11 total. Because you don't get to add the 2 again, I think. I've played so many different versions of D&D that all do crits differently.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's 11 total. So...
From my understanding, you double the damage dice, but you don't double any additional dice.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
But so, like, if you had a sword that did extra lightning damage, you would double the pokey part of the damage, but not the lightning part.
That makes sense. So you're saying you would take double the 6 rather than rolling 2 dice?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be 12.
So that would be 12 plus the
14.
2, so 14 total. I'm fine with that. So let's just adjust how much violence this thing is about to eat. Right, so that's 14 wound. And Raps is also going to hit it.
This thing's bad. Come back.
Raps, commence violence. Murr. Murr. Squish. Okay, so it's gonna burst.
Oh no.
Status die.
Tame though.
Okay, so it's gonna need to target... Okay, so it actually didn't make it out of that square since you guys killed it where it was. So it gets to splat at the 3 of you.
Gross.
I kind of like methods because they do a lot of annoying stuff that isn't HP damage. All right. On explode. Ah.
Don't. Oh
They
no.
finally got you.
No.
So yep, Echoviel manages to dodge this one, but the two of you who went in for the violence got mud on you for your trouble.
Good. Excellent. What I've always wanted.
You are restrained for 1 turn,
Gross.
but all of the methods down there are dead, so that doesn't mean much. It just means your brand new white outfit has got mud on it.
That stain's not coming.
Mud Method 2 went first. Mud Method 2 doesn't have a mud spit attack anymore, so it's just going to actually attack Anise the normal way. So it makes its little angry mud claws and it goes wabap. And it hits you. You've been stuck by a mud criminal. And violence. Blam. What is that? Oh, your concentration. Okay. So your vines got knocked out.
And so did my spider climb.
Yeah. Away with you, vines. I said away with you. Alright, the vines are gone. Okay, well, it managed to bonk you. And now it's going to try to back away if you want to hit it back.
I do.
Because it
Yes,
actually
I'll
did
attack
damage to you and messed with your magics.
Stab it with the halberd.
Stab the half of it that's still there.
That probably doesn't hit. Nope.
Alas. You were pretty close, though. They're not that hard to hit. Bird, get him! Get that 1 damage in. Caca! The bird hit it. Caca. Poke. Alright, so now that you've done that, it's going to try to fly away from this situation.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna try and use the halberd like a golf club to just smack it down the cliff so that everyone else could get it.
I mean,
It
that
did
would have been
that.
funny. But yeah, it just saw out of the side of its mud eye, its 3 friends explode, and you just cut it in half, so it's sort of limping off to the woods now. That's about as far as it can fly, though. Okay. Do. Well, the dead Mud Method 3 did not get its mud breath back.
A
Good.
tragedy.
Truly the most sad of tales. It's Echo's turn. Echo's going to shoot an arrow at that thing. Because quite
Watch
frankly,
out.
they're gross, and she hates them.
That's valid, though.
These things do not belong in this forest. All right, what you got? I appreciate that it keeps track of her arrows so I don't have to. Alright, yeah, she's actually going to line up a shot on this thing, and she's going to use sharpshooter, because that's a feat she has. Get it! She paid the price. So she lines up a shot, and unfortunately, as she shoots it forward, the arrow goes right through the part that you cleaved off earlier, so it doesn't actually hit it.
Yep.
From her angle, it looked like there was more to it than there actually was. Not a worry.
Kwaku's in the way.
Just take that ammo down. And... it's Penelope's turn. You're restrained. You can try to get out of being restrained. Actually, I don't even think you have to roll. I think it just expires.
Oh.
Let me check. That'll determine what you do.
Yep.
Let's see. Or be restrained until the end of the creature's next turn. So you're restrained until the end of your turn. You're no longer restrained.
Yay! I'm just like, okay.
I'm going to take that restrained off because it doesn't know better. And you're free now. Mud Method 1 is still dead. Raps is up. I don't think Raps can get there. We'll find out.
He's restrained, isn't he?
Oh, you're right. He is restrained. Yep, Raps can definitely not get there. Arrgh. It's the bird's turn. The bird is not going to fly after it. It knows better. Mud Method 4 is still dead. It's Anise's turn.
The far away is
It's probably like 15 feet down and 15 away, so Pythagoras that up to like 40 or something.
40.
Like, I didn't do the actual math, I'm just spitballing, but...
So I was thinking of doing produce flame because you can attack with it, but it... Oh, creature within 30 feet. So I think it's actually a little too far.
Actually, no, it's flying. It didn't go lower. So yeah, you can totally do that. It's not actually down. I forgot this thing flies. So like, yeah, because it's flying, it's within 30 feet of you. It didn't go low enough to get out of range. So go for it.
I'm going to produce flame at it. Oh, that hit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fire up the kiln.
Dang.
Oh, it's burning. That hurt a lot. Okay, yeah, the mud that's trying to escape is now burning.
Oof.
You can see bits and pieces of it hardening and breaking off like clay put in a kiln without being properly dried first. So that's a problem. And
I will move back to be beside the statue, so I'm not right at the edge of the cliff.
understandable. All right. Kwaku actually has to get closer and shoot up. So, get him, buddy. Kwaku, you're so far down the initiative list. Get your act together. How dare you go last? And ice daggers. Actually, does he have many ice daggers left? Not really. Kwaku, where's your cantrips? Well, he's using it. It's about the principle of the matter now. There you go, he did it. And because it's floating up in the air, it explodes mud in all directions, but it just sort of falls to the ground. Good.
It's on fire. It's cold now.
I tried to put it out. It's out now.
I just kind of on the ground.
Yeah.
Good job, Kwaku.
I don't know why these things are here, but well, that's, I guess. Are you okay up there? Are there any more?
No, that was the only one. Those 4 were the only ones I saw.
Okay, do you need us to come up and help you do the ritual, or should we stay down here and keep an eye out?
There's some trees behind me, right? Looks like it on the
Yeah,
map.
there are some. Yeah.
I guess I'll roll perception just to check to see if there's anything else
Okay.
that be bad. Nope, I think everything's fine.
Yep, you don't see anything.
Just gonna sit right down right here and do the ritual.
You want me to come up there anyway?
If you can, I guess. I think Raps can climb pretty easily. I've seen him climb pretty easily.
Do you want Raps to carry you up?
You know what? I'm gonna see if she can do it without wraps.
Okay.
What would that skill be? Would that be
Athletics.
athletic? Oh, this is gonna suck.
Well, we still have the combat tracker up. Oh, it's not my turn, but
We're out of initiative right now. Like, I'm not taking things off the combat tracker because you have numbers on it, but yeah, I will clear out the methods. They're done.
I healed for 5 damage.
She's just gonna look up
7.
at Raps and be like, "Help me!"
All right, let me just get rid of all these methods. These affronts to nature that are made out of nature.
Weird blobs of mud got personalities.
All right, I think that's all of them. Nope, there's one more. Get out of here, 3. You're the meanest of them all.
3 died like a bitch.
It's true. All right, so Raps is going to grab you, and up you go.
Are you riding on his shoulders?
Yes.
Yeah.
Climb down and then stand over.
These two are
All
just
right.
going to kind of back to back and keep an eye on the woods.
I've got my knife. That's short.
I am in good hands. I'm talking about Raps, but you totally think I'm talking about you.
Yes. Like, yeah.
All right, ritual time.
Okay. Let's dig out your ritual
I'll
check.
draw my circle around the statue, sit down beside it, cross-legged. Make myself a cup of tea.
Passes your way. All right, let's get you. Wah. All right, so your ritual has begun. Oons, 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 oons. All right. So yeah, you've got the ritual's beginning. So you get to start rolling your nature checks.
Oh, I'm gonna guidance myself first.
You can.
Almost. Probably didn't even need to do that. Concentration dropped on all the other stuff.
You didn't have any concentration spells up.
Oh, that's true. Roll a d4, add the number rolled to one ability check of my choice. Roll the die before or after making the ability check.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can save it for when you aren't happy with one.
It's a cantrip, so in theory I could cast it on myself for every... But it seems like one per ritual is probably...
Yeah, odds are if you start casting a spell that takes concentration while you're trying to do a ritual, it might not work out.
That's true.
That might be splitting it up too much.
I would like to add that d4.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, that's a very strong start. Similar to last time, as you cast it, you start to see almost immediately you can see some of the colors. Actually, no, I have to ask you, where are you going to send the mana this time? So
also to the saber statue.
So that's going to be harder this go around because the way that it works in the geomancy, and you would know this from being a druid who's done this before, it's kind of like trying to redirect a river. Like you can point it in different forks in different directions, but you can't point it uphill. And so before, the one that you got to was far enough up that you could redirect it to the saber statue. Here, you're close enough to the castle that you kind of got three choices. You can point it to the left, which is off towards like the spooky haunted woods, where it will run into the other, intake line. You can point it to the right, which is out over the lake, which from your experience in the past doing things like this, you know that if the mana is redirected into a big water source like that, it'll actually get distributed through the whole area a little more effectively, which might actually help with the recovery faster. Because like animals drink water, it spreads, which is kind of nice. Or you could point it essentially down. You could point it deeper under the castle, so that instead of going up through the surface area where the trees are, you'd be pointing it straight down into the stone, which presumably the tree roots don't reach it, so it wouldn't be able to draw on it, but it would be a lot closer to the castle for later if you decided to restore it. It'd just be a little bit easier. But otherwise, those are kind of your three directions when you're this close. So which way do you want to do that?
I think I'll put it at the lake.
Makes sense. You, as someone who have studied, from the lake in many ways, with your neat ties to Fey magic, you understand the power of being nice to the lake, especially in Europe. So
yeah,
that might be appreciated. Okay, so yeah, you pointed at the lake, and when you do, you definitely can see that even faster than last time, the color starts to return to the area. Like before, when you did this, it took a while, but this is going much better. Like the trees themselves are pulling it out of the water well and recovering a lot faster. So that was your first roll. Give it another. Okay, that is also a success. So yeah, you're actually doing a really solid job of restoring life in the place. Things are getting a little greener, a little more natural. It's a bit less subdued. Cool. At this point, Penelope can do a perception roll. 'Cause she is guarding you. Penelope does not see anything bad.
And she don't see shit.
That's fair, though. The bird doesn't say anything either, so caw. Alrighty, so you've got that going on. And now give us one more roll. That's fine. You don't lose it. So at this point, you can actually feel something else is sort of tugging against you. Like you're redirecting the course effectively into the water. Like it's not far away, but you can feel something is pulling it back towards the castle. Like you might actually be in a bit of a tug of war right now. So now that it's contested, you get to roll again, and it will be rolling against you. Whatever it is, you've probably got a good guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure if you'll be able to see this. I don't mind if you do. It's not a secret. I'm just curious as to if it displays or not.
Should have saved the guidance.
Can you see the results or anything on that? Did you even see the dice?
I saw the phantom dice, but
Okay.
I don't see anything.
Cool. I didn't know if it actually showed you what was rolling it or not. That was my curiosity. Okay, so yeah, you can actually feel that whatever is out there is starting to wrestle it back away from the lake where you were getting it before. So your colors are getting a bit darker again. And now it is your turn again.
That's better.
That is much better. Yeah, you actually managed to, like, metaphorically, you managed to actually grip this ley line and yank it almost forcefully away from this thing. And you stick it back in the water where it belongs.
Not this time, bitch. Not this time, bitch.
Which is an entertaining thing for Penelope to see you saying while doing her very holy-looking druidic ritual.
Oh yeah, I'm just like completely still, eyes closed, serene look on my face, just going, not this time, bitch.
Penelope's just like,
Bitch ass tree, get out of here with that.
Penelope's now just giggling uncontrollably.
If you want to perhaps play some music to soothe yourself and inspire me, just a suggestion.
Fuck. Is that a thing I can do?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You could just use inspiration, yeah.
Oh, just the bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh.
Play me a song on your kazoo.
Okay, the bitch tree is fighting back.
All right, yeah. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Can I?
You can take off a bardic inspiration, and do you want to hum a kazoo noise at us? Did you actually buy a kazoo?
I have not gotten a kazoo yet.
Gotta go fist fight Joe Biden to get.
You got to get your Biden kazoo.
Uh-huh.
This is what it boils down to. This is your stimmy kazoo.
Whips out her kazoo. I named this one Joe Biden.
I named this Joe Biden. Don't ask me why. I don't even know why. But
Joe Biden does sound like a D&D character who would have spells. Or like, Joe Biden's harmonious, train or whatever would just be a spell.
So I'm going to grant you bardic inspiration.
Woohoo!
By just
Right.
kind of, maybe she's not pulling out the kazoo this time. She's just kind of like humming a little song.
You're getting the Enya background music that you always knew went with druidic music.
How do I use it?
Just the lyrics are all just various forms of "You got this, you can do it.
You got the touch.
You're a badass boss bitch druid."
I am a boss ass bitch druid.
Various forms of that same thing.
All right, give it a roll.
I think with inspiration you can choose. You can see the roll before you.
Yeah, you can see the roll before you use it.
Yeah, I would like to add that. What is it?
It's a
D4?
D6.
It's D6.
Okay. All right, so that's enough to keep it on the lake, but not enough to force it out of the grip of the other thing. You're going to have to push it a little bit harder than that to break through. And now it's going to try back. Oof. That is a 20.
Oh no.
All right. It is definitely fighting this back at you. And I like how dramatic these color shifts are. They're not meant to be this much, but I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
It's stylish. So with that tug, Penelope, give me another perception roll as the world is shifting in colors around you.
13.
Okay. So with your 13, you can actually see something happening because it is not far away.
Ooh. No. Not another one. Jesus, Paul. Oh,
no.
God.
All right. You can see those things are there.
Oh.
And they're not attacking you, but they are glaring. Like maybe you're angering Papatree. And now it's Anise's turn again.
Oh, God.
Actually, Penelope, do you want to do anything with that knowledge?
Yes, she's gonna yell back to Kwaku and Echo and be like, guys, we've got some trouble up here.
Okay. I know we just met, but here we go. And he grabs Echo and runs up the wall. Because that's a thing he can do once a day.
Hooray! Yeah, no, we got more of these things in the trees. They don't look very happy. They actually look kind of pissed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this ritual is probably getting their attention. And potentially angering something. Raps, why don't you get in the way? Like, a fight is not broken out yet, but you are free to position yourself accordingly. All right, so you rolled a 10 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the 10 actually is the difficulty, just so you know, for numbers. So that's fine. It's really just a matter of you make headway when one of you gets at least a 10 and the other doesn't. So that's enough for you to get the colors back again. Yay. Now it's up.
I'm not seeing any of this though. I'm in the middle of the
Yeah,
ritual.
you're in mid-trance. You can't even see the things around you. You just know that you keep hearing humming, and in the back of your head, someone's calling you like a badass bitch. All right.
I am a boss bitch. I will defeat you, tree.
All right. And okay, so you don't feel it forcefully tug back at you this time. Do another check.
Another nature check.
Yep, another nature check. Okay, so you both seem to be getting tired, but you're actually holding even tug of war.
See some sweat starting to drip, even though it's cold as shit out here.
Yep. Okay, now do another check.
Better.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, so you actually managed to slap its proverbial hands off the ley line. You shove it back, and it loses its grip entirely, and you actually, for the first time in this whole bit, can feel yourself directing this entire ley line the way you see fit. And you latch it into the lake. And when you do, you can actually feel, like, with that level of proficiency, again, you don't see this in the real world, but you can sense it in the ley line. You can feel the lake is kind of opening up, almost like a giant hand is grabbing it and pulling it under. So that's pretty cool. Like, you don't actually have to hold this anymore. The lake has it. So you did that. You could also feel through the ground a rumbling that signifies to you that something is angry. But that is the end of that. Like, you don't need to hold the ritual anymore. You've successfully handed it off.
I open my eyes and I go, "Hi, I'm a boss-ass bitch, and that tree is just a bitch."
You're right, but also, it sent its bitch friend.
Yeah,
just
its
kind
bitch
of-
friends are not happy. So
Yeah, I imagine I was facing the castle, so I just kind of turn and look over my shoulder and go, "Ah."
yep.
Before we do anything, can I take like a 2-second break?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I will be right back. Oh jeez.
I will also use this opportunity for break time shenanigans.
Totally fair. Blam, blam, blam.
Alright, well, I'm back.
Hooray.
Ruby's on her way back. Ugh.
It's all good. Right now, if anyone were looking at Twitch, they would see Reen staring at a TV, desperately waiting to see what happens next.
You're like, ah!
Or maybe just wondering how to set up the DVR. Who knows? I appreciate Carnival Phantasm. I also appreciate how actually playing through most of Tsukihime proved that you really don't need to play Tsukihime to enjoy any of those parts of Carnival Phantasm. It doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just assume you played Melty Blood, and I don't know anyone who's played Melty Blood.
I do.
Ugh.
Did one of you play Melty Blood? Do I actually know someone who's played
Yeah,
Melty Blood?
I played Melty Blood at one point.
Is it coherent?
I played like a couple matches of it, but I didn't like the control very much.
Okay.
It's a fighting game.
Like, that's the confusing... It's a fighting game, but has a bunch of plot, and I don't know how you do that.
Persona 4 Arena.
Like, is the plot actually in the game, or is it one of those things like Mortal Kombat where there's a really deep mythology, but when you're playing, you just punch people till they're dead?
Yes.
Now, I don't know that I ever did the story mode. It was mostly, hey, we're doing a Melty Blood tournament. You want to play? And I'll be like, sure.
Huh.
I love fighting games. Let's go. And then
For me, it wasn't even. They just were like, "Do you want to try a couple matches?" And I went, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Does Shiki get like a one-hit kill?
I didn't know who any of the characters were back when.
That's fair.
picked like Neko art. I thought she was cute.
That's questionable.
Had I known.
Oh, jeez.
Like a very long time ago when we were planning like Nashikon year 1. I know the joke about Melty Blood is if you go to one of the big video game things, or if you used to, and you like poked around and looked in like supply closets, you'd find random people with a CRT just playing Melty Blood.
That's
like there was never an official area for them,
right.
but they found an area.
You sort of corral them as needed.
They get banished into the basement.
I mean, that's fair.
Okay, so we're combating
All right,
again.
so we good? All right, I am no longer on the Reen watching TV screen.
Cool.
Hooray.
So yeah, you have sufficiently angered the tree, and finally, after sort of looming and looking at you all of these times, these things have decided that they've had enough of you, and you're redirecting of ley lines. So they're poking out. Give you some pictures of these things. So the one
Twig blight.
Yep, the bottom two are twig blights.
Oh, and then the top one's different.
The top one's something else.
Needle blight.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep.
The
They're all in the same
other
picture.
creatures.
So
The creatures last week were called vine blights. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, these guys.
Yep.
Oh, so it's like the tiny one and then the big guy. Oh no, it's the big guy.
yep,
I
it's
don't
the
like
small. It's two of the smallest ones and a big one. Also, ignore the fact that they have numbers on them. I made a whole bunch of these at one point, and you keep encountering and not fighting them. So, don't think that because it says 2 that there's another one here waiting to fight you.
Oh, okay.
I just pulled them all off of a giant other map. In general, don't read too much into numbers when the system adds numbers to them, because I don't spawn all of them. They just get those.
Hey.
But yeah, they're needle blights. And yeah, it's like 1 needle blight and 2 twig blights. And they are known for their angry splinter attacks.
Ooh.
But it's Penelope's turn. Because Penelope
God.
won initiative.
Oh boy. Shit. Just what I've always wanted.
Oh yeah, your ritual's over. I'm gonna get rid of this thing.
Okay. Quick question. Do the blights count as humanoids because they are like vaguely human shaped? Or is that enough? They're twig bark and stuff.
I don't think they count as humanoid, but I can check right now.
That would be love.
Which one are you thinking about violencing?
I don't. Yes.
Fair enough. I will check them both. All right, so twig blights are considered plants, not humanoids.
Damn.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
that would have been fun. Okay. Crap.
No, I do not have speak with plants.
I mean, you just called a plant a bitch.
It's a special plant.
Special plan.
Called a vampire plant a bitch.
Hmm. Oh. I'm trying. Hold
No,
on.
you're fine.
Even if I had 10 minutes to like do a ritual cast, I don't even have speak with plants.
Okay, Penelope is going to cast Silent Image. In that, like, the 3 blocks that are basically the closest to them.
Okay.
Going to make it look like there's fire.
Okay, you're gonna create a fake fire and like a line in front of them?
Yeah.
Cool. Is silent image a concentration thing?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if it actually has the mechanical ability to tell that you're concentrating or not. Double click on it and see what it does.
On silent image?
Yeah.
On the star? Oh. Well, when I double clicked on it, it did it twice.
Okay, well, we can undo the one of them. But it
Okay,
doesn't
yeah.
show you as concentrating, does it? No, that's fine. If you get bonked, we'll roll it manually.
Hold on. I'm gonna I'm dragging it onto. There we go. I don't know if it did anything. It put effects silent image.
Yep, it did. That means that it knows if you're concentrating or not.
I'm not sure what the D10 is.
I think you roll that if you get hit to maintain concentration.
Oh, it says 10 rounds. It's 10 rounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
And the number in there is also used if someone tries to interact with your fire to realize it's not real.
Yeah.
So cool. All right, I will put a neat fake fire out.
Sweet.
Then I will get you to tell me if it is where you want it to be.
I can. Okay. I'm drawing around the area.
Okay.
Yay, drawing mode. Ooh, I almost fell over.
Well, don't die.
Too late.
Well, that's sad. I miss you.
I'm back from the dead. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Necromancy.
Ah!
I always knew our friendship would end in necromancy.
What?
Don't worry about it.
What?
It's not ending in necromancy. The necromancy is what lets it last.
What?
Ah!
Anyway, you have a fire now.
I'm gonna erase my shit.
It looks like a mouth with all the fire in the middle now. There you go. Is that about how you wanted it?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Anything else you want to do?
Yes. I am gonna back up behind where
Everyone.
Anise is. Be like, nope.
That's fair.
And boom.
Okay. All right, it is Echo's turn. Echo is going to once again attempt to violence. She's going to go after the Needle Blight. Where are you, Needle Blight? Oh, you're slow. Good. The Needle Blight is last on the list. Yoink. Okay. What? No, that's Kwaku.
What?
Don't attack
She's
Kwaku.
targeting Kwaku.
You don't need to be paranoid anymore. We fixed you.
She's like, just testing.
But can I be sure? Now hear me out. I don't think he's actually Kotetsu. I've never seen the anime, and it doesn't exist at this point in time. But if it did, I don't think that's you. Arrow violence, go. Oof. Critical arrow violence.
Very violent arrow.
It's true. All right.
Get him, Echo.
And and... Blam! Did it just roll it twice? No, it figured out critical this time. What did it do differently?
I don't know.
Whatever, it figured it out. Take 9 damage, Blight. Thwack. Yep, she very successfully took a look over, saw where Raps was, and decided, yeah, I could do this. And then she leaned down and shot an arrow right under Raps's right arm, which flew through, and actually his left arm from that angle, flew under his left arm and went right into the forehead of the Blight on the other side. And now it's just sticking out of its forehead like some kind of weird archery unicorn. But its face is all split up from the arrow. It's not happy. So that was a productive turn. Good job, Echo. Way to violence. Anise's turn.
It's me. Yeah.
I guess I'm going to use all my movement to stand up and turn around and face them. I wasn't planning on going anywhere.
That would just be half your movement.
Okay.
Just in case you did want to move at all.
Is the one that's hurt already about 30 feet from me, or am I going to have to move to get into range?
You're within 30 feet of all of them.
Alright, I'm going to produce flame at it.
That'll make that illusion more realistic.
Oh no.
But it missed.
Alas. Whoosh.
Yeah, I don't really have like a bonus action or anything.
No, those come a little bit later.
Action.
Alrighty.
Action. Yep. I'm done, I guess. I threw some flame and it didn't work.
Unknown bird.
Unknown bird! Cut, nah. Raps time. Now the real question is, does Raps realize that's an illusion? No.
Oh, no.
No, Raps does not.
Oh no.
Raps walks around the fire. Raps is not about fire.
So the illusion, buddy.
Raps is about the violence, though. Blam.
Problem is to get these because these are so good.
Why is it
I'll have another
automatic
one.
miss?
Sewing room is just going to be...
Are you immune to something I don't understand? I don't see anything about this that would imply that it's immune to Raps punching it. Am I targeting the right thing? Uniblight 2. Why would Raps have disadvantage? Oh, Raps is still restrained from before because I didn't clear that. That makes way more sense because we never actually finished that combat. We just went into the ritual. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. All right, I'm going to clear that out and let him roll again. That's dumb. Yeah, he is no longer covered in mud. He's had plenty of time to think about his choices. Fresh roll. Violence. Squish. Blam, it's dead.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he
just walked up and punched it. Actually, he punched the back of that arrow and just dove it all the way through its head.
So that is the one that was already...
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he just straight up took one out with one.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he could do that, but regardless, that Blight's dead. Now he's walking around that wall. Force these things into the actual grid. Get on that grid. There you go. Yep. Walk forward. Apply violence. Raps is going after Twig Blight 1.
just because of where Raps is sitting, it looks like he's dead.
Oh yeah, because he's basically just standing over the corpse of the needle blight.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's technically here. So Raps is left-hand punching because that fire is scary. Raps is not a lefty, but it doesn't take much to hit a stick. Burn. Okay, that one he just outright killed.
Amazing.
Blam. I mean, they're living twigs. They're not that durable.
Not that much HP, yeah.
They're bulk mobs. So yeah, Raps just walked forward and with one hand punched the big one and then stepped forward and punched the other one. And they're both dead. And now Twig Blight 3 is questioning a lot. And it's Twig Blight 3's turn. And like between the fire and the big guy, this is not ideal. It's just gonna go back into the woods and try to hide. Had enough of this. It'll deal with an angry tree later. Boop. Gone.
We must set the whole forest ablaze. I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Aren't you a druid? I'm a fire druid. Embrace the flames of nature. Reclamation.
What is this, Premiere?
But yeah, so you did it. You've if you want to chase down the Twig Blight, you can, but they're really hard to see now that you brought all the nature back.
We've violenced 2 of its friends to death.
They didn't even get a chance to attack you. You just walked up and killed them.
Instant death was.
But they were making aggressive faces.
True.
Okay, so with that, you've secured the second ley line. You've definitely alerted the tree to your presence. And the castle is within sight. You're all up here so you can see it. It's not far away. In fact, I'll give you a tiny little map picture of it. I should have that handy. Oh, good. I can finally close the combat tracker. I think it takes up a lot of space.
I suppose the question now is if we want to go straight to the tree, or if we want to go into the haunted woods, do third ritual.
Would the third ritual help? Or would it be better for us to go ahead and take...
That's an excellent question. What would I roll to find out what the answer to that question is? Nature?
Yeah, you can roll nature to try to guess the consequences of doing that.
Oh.
You're pretty confident that if you go into the haunted woods, you'll encounter some kind of ghost. As the nature of haunted woods. You don't really understand, like, it. So, even with the one, like, you know that the tree is now relying entirely on mana from the haunted woods. So, you don't know if that's good or bad for it.
Right.
Like...
Well, we will assuredly encounter ghosts in the haunted woods.
Ooh.
However, we do still have those earrings.
Yeah, you're right. We do have those.
What was his name? Canada Man.
The Crosby.
The Crosby gave us that will let us hit ghosts.
Yeah, I could punch you.
Going into the woods and redirecting the ley line would cut the tree off of all of the mana entirely and make it weak. Or we could just fight it at a third of its strength. So it knows we're here. We felt that rumbling earlier. That was the tree being not very happy.
Well, okay, hold on. Echo, you said you were the one who told us about the haunted ass stuff, right?
Yes, that is the woods behind the castle are most assuredly haunted. I'm not a necromancer, so I don't know the full details, but my understanding of it is that most of the original Einsburns killed themselves there, and that tends to leave an impression on a place.
But as far as you know, do you know anything about, like, I don't know what I'm trying to ask.
Are you asking if it's dangerous?
Yeah, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's quite dangerous. I know that for a time they actually chained one of the servants there because it was a dangerous place, and that was the safest idea we had. It was a Berserker servant. They're very dangerous. In hindsight, that might not have been a good idea because, well, chaining something insane to a haunted place could mess with it. But it seemed to work out as far as I could tell. I'm also not a psychiatrist.
The mana the tree is drawing from the area might be making it stronger, might be poisoning it. There's no way to tell.
If you would like, you can make an Arcana check for a different angle on it, separate from nature. Yeah. That is a better roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So based purely on the arcane side of things, like, you've met one person recently who has definitely spent a lot of time with the more necrotic energies. And as you recall, Crosby's got a lot of city miles on him. It seems like drawing heavily on necromantic forces, it makes you strong, but it has a lot of side effects. And so it's quite possible that this being a vampiric tree, that drawing from that could help it. But it could also, like, it might be giving it power that it needs at a cost of, long term. But if your plan is to kill it, then it might just be benefiting in the immediacy anyway. Like, it might shorten its overall lifespan, but you don't want it to kill you with extra power first. So it's kind of up to you.
Yeah. I do think that if we were to get to the ley line in those haunted woods, and I was able to redirect the ley line, it would help us. I think it's hard to describe. The energy it's pulling out of the haunted woods is making it more powerful now, maybe at the cost of it living longer, but we don't, if we kill it now, it won't matter. I think it can only be benefiting from those dark energies. It's all a matter of, do we think it's worth it to go fight ghosts?
And who knows, we may not even have to actually fight the ghosts.
That is true. We could talk to them.
I am pretty charmed.
The two of us
starts batting her eyelashes at Anna.
And Anise is just ignoring her, like this is serious mode. The two of us do have a way of hitting ghosts with the things that Crosby gave us, but I don't know about Raps or you, Echoviel and Kwaku. I don't know if you have a way of damaging ghosts or defending against ghosts.
I do not have a lot of experience fighting ghosts, but as I understand it, so long as we're using magecraft, we should be able to affect them to some extent. I know that I can do something, even if it's not full strength. What about you? I am not accustomed to fighting ghosts, but I should be able to help to some extent. I have some abilities. I'm not a full mage, but I've learned some things. At the very least, I can hold my distance and keep a lookout while you're performing the ritual.
If we are very stealthy, we may actually be able to just sneak in and not even encounter ghosts. Unlikely, but what about Raps? Can we make him punch things magically?
I believe he technically is magic.
Oh.
I think the animating forces around him allow him to interact. but I've never tested this. I don't have a lot of ghosts to try with.
In theory, that means he can punch the ghost to death.
Would you like to perhaps call some of my sisters for assistance?
Can't hurt.
Any advantage we can have. I think we definitely need to cut this tree off of the third ley line for sure before we try and fight it.
Well, it sounds like we have a plan then.
Sweet.
Okay. With that, I think we're probably at the good pausing point, and you get to look forward to spooky time.
I'm yawning.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is the stopping point. Really, for me, it's like a matter of, okay, so do I pull up the ghost map at the start of the next one, or are we going to go fight a castle? So.
Ghost map.
Ghost map.
Ghost map. But hey, you made it through 2 combats.
That is true. Fought some mud and some twigs.
Fighting all the nature. Like, you're having the most atypical druid game.
I burned a mud monster to death, but couldn't fight a tree.
I mean,
I made fake fire.
Your spiders fought a tree. I like how everything that Penelope is scared of has ended up becoming an ally.
Hmm.
You know, you're not wrong.
It's going to be really interesting to see what her other phobias take the form of.
Ugh.
I want us to keep this bird alive until we can true polymorph it. Into what? I don't know, but...
A larger bird with more
A
HP.
larger bird.
Oh my god.
I mean, like, admittedly, you know it's some kind of phantasmal species. You just don't know what.
That is true.
But yeah,
Cool.
so that was fun. You're out of statues. You've caught them all.
Yay.
You've got your 7 statue badges. With 1 more, you can go to the Elite Four.
I was going to make a joke, but what is the tree of the champion? Is tree Gary?
Yeah.
I mean, you did call it a bitch-ass tree.
That's true.
I mean, Gary Oak counts as a bitch-ass tree, right?
And his last name is even Oak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this tree Gary Oak.
You can.
Like, it'll tell us its name, and I'll be like, but no, you're Gary Oak. Because you're a bitch.
That's fair.
Cheating bitch with your Gyarados that knows things that it shouldn't.
I'm still annoyed for you from seeing that. Yeah, if anyone's listening to this in the future, this is concurrent to Anise's player going through a Nuzlocke in which the AI is blatantly cheating by giving Pokemon abilities they shouldn't have yet and power levels they shouldn't have yet for their level.
Yep.
I think watching some of that go down definitely was giving me vibes of that Team 4-star cross chop that killed a full HP Fearow.
I was actually really afraid for my Fearow when I went in there because I remember that.
Like, I'll remember it forever because that was a full HP Pokemon that got 1 crit all the way down to dead.
Yep.
They didn't even realize it happened until after it happened because they were just talking like it was nothing.
Yeah, because it should have been nothing.
Yeah. I think that's going to be like one of the all-time memories I have of people doing Nuzlocks.
Mm-hmm.
That and the time their Gyarados got knocked down to 1.
Oh, yeah. I think that was in the Elite Four.
I don't remember when it was, but I remember them freaking out. That's great. But yeah, I guess technically, because we're in a Type Moon setting where coming back from the dead is pretty much impossible to do cleanly, this is a Nuzlocke, so don't die.
Yay.
Hooray.
If you die, we have to go release you from the box.
That's why I have Cure Wounds. It won't help if I'm the one that ends up rolling death saves.
I think you
but...
both have the ability to heal people, don't you?
Oh yeah, you should have like Healing Word or something.
Yeah, I have Healing Word.
Healing Word stops the death saves and gets you back up. That's its job.
Same with Cure Wounds.
Yeah. Neither one of them is that efficient for healing, but their goal is to get you back up. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and share a picture with you now, just to give you context in case you've never seen them. So this is the castle that Einsburn Castle is directly modeled off of.
Oh.
Like directly, like it's modeled after a real castle in Germany. And
it looks like it has two smiley faces.
It has a lot of them, yeah.
The one in the bottom right looks like it has a smiley face with a mustache.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's one of the hills in Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Which is cute. But yeah, so like that's a real castle that does exist. It was also the model for the Sleeping Beauty castle and a bunch of other stuff. And someone was kind enough to actually take the floor plans of it and convert them into a D&D map, which I used as a base for then modifying it into being the Einsburn castle. So
cool.
Whenever we actually go in and deal with the Einsburn castle and the tree, you have full reign to go through the entire castle. It does exist in map form. So, assuming the castle survives your battle, you can explore it.
I mean, we're not high enough level to have like explosion magic. So
yeah, you're not going to dragon slave it. I'm not worried about that.
Am I at full health?
It says you're not wounded.
Yes.
You did it.
No one else took any damage, right?
I think you're the only one they actually tried to hit.
Hmm.
I think most of the fight was them spitting mud and then failing.
That's true.
Like, each kind of method has a cool ability separate from just hurting you, and I think that's what makes them fun in a group attack.
Oh, one of them tried to hit Raps, but rolled so low that it didn't do anything.
Yeah, Raps is durable. Golems are cool like that. Like, they're really hard to actually damage unless you're hitting them with magic stuff. And Raps is a really strong golem, but Raps does not get to ever heal. So long as Raps is dealing with things that are smaller than Raps, we're good. If Raps ever encounters a servant, Raps should probably run away. Anyone should run away if you encounter a servant. It's not a good idea.
Unless the servant can only do piercing damage, then we're fine.
There you go. Like that snake?
Yeah.
That was funny. I'd completely forgotten that was how that worked.
Makes sense, though.
Well, this is fun for me because I made so many of these elements literally a year or two ago. So
you forgot what you did even.
Like I'm finding a lot of things that I forgot how they would interact with things that I then made a year later. Like I buffed Raps up when you went to having one less player character to kind of offset a little bit. And I forgot that the challenges that Raps was going to be facing involved piercing attacks. So I'm like, oh, well, I guess Raps is just MVP for a little while. I still maintain that having a third player character would be more beneficial than having Raps, because Raps is really just walk up and hit. But it's not bad as a solution for making it so fights don't go 20 rounds. So that's neat.
Everyone just cower behind Raps while he punches everything to death. It's fine.
That's kind of what he does.
That's what Penelope's kind of doing.
I mean, Penelope can actually hide under him.
One of these days, I'm just going to have her, like, hide in his coat and then just, like, pop out and stab.
Like a Jack-in-the-Box of murder?
Exactly.
That's fair. You could do that.
Murder.
But yeah, so, like, on this this image, essentially to the right of the castle and, like, the background area, that's where the water is. To the front of it is kind of where you're at now. Like, there's some trees out there, and then you get to the front of the castle. Like, the path north goes there. And the path to the left will take you off to the left and then the back of the castle, which is where the spooky woods are.
Yeah.
So, context. That technically also means that if you resolve the spooky woods, you might be able to come in from a different side than the front if you so choose.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at some point, your cavalry of animals may arrive. So that's fun. But all right, that'll be a good stopping point now. So if people are watching this in the future, I hope you're having fun and enjoy getting to watch the next one immediately for you. For us, it'll take a week. So good night, the internet and everyone on it.
Good night. Good night.